It's time to get up and sing. Yay! Okay. And then we're gonna. No sound. No sound yet. There you go. Okay.
It's so much help. While you're at it, say good morning to Jim Hale on the trumpet.
Yay!
There he is.
Good morning, Jim.
There he is. And on the percussion, you know him, you love him. Oliver Brown.
Yes.
On the bass this morning, as you know, our bass, Bruce, has been out on the road with the Strutters. He'll be back next week. In the meantime, we've had a couple of bass players during this month come and fill in. One of them has been Chris Connor.
Yay, Chris.
I don't even want to get into his he's from Toronto? He's from Toronto? I don't want to get into it. Just a little bit. Because he's one of those guys, you talk to him, you go, oh, one of my favorite pianists is Oscar Peterson. And he says, oh, yeah, when I played with Oscar. And you're like, really? Okay.
Wow. Oscar Peterson.
Oh, yeah. And the list goes on and on. Yeah. Well, when I played with him. You ready, Jim? All right. Two. You know what to do.
Raise up your hands and put a smile on your face. Talk to everybody in the human race. We're proud and we're strong, so stand up tall. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world.
Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. What we're gonna do?
Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Every man, every woman,
Every boy and girl. Let's all
get together, bring peace in the world.
There's a train of love starting right here. Jump onto it, don't have no fear. Yours mine, so answer the call. Let's all
Get together, bring peace in the world.
sing.
Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Every man, every woman, every boy and girl. Let's all get together, bring
Play for me,
peace in
Jim.
the
Play.
world.
Shelter the homeless,
Open your door
feed the hungry.
and give to the poor.
Come on, offer your heart.
And don't think small, let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Every man, every woman, every boy or girl, let's all get together, bring
Another one.
peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace
What are we
in
gonna
the
do?
world. Every man, every woman, girl,
Let's all get together. Do another one. You did that one.
Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Every man, every woman, every boy and girl. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Let's all get together, bring peace in the world. Excellent! Now we're revved up, right? Please look at your neighbor and greet them with love.
Good morning. My name is Jan Mintz, and I'm a volunteer here at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. So glad to welcome you here today, including our streamers. I have to say I've done that a couple times. I love that we offer that at our center now. It's just not the same as being here, though, you guys. I tell you, there was one time and you're all hugging, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm missing that." So today I get my hugs in. The energy in this room is just amazing. If you stream, come on in and check it out, because it is a whole different experience. And if you're here in person and you're here for the very first time, we have a gift for you. So if you raise your hand, our ushers will bring you a gift. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us. Jim, we got one down here. Lovely, thank you so much. And so if you're streaming and if you've never been here for the first time, another reason to come on in and get your gift too. So we would love to have you experience our spiritual community, our spiritual home. We share it with everybody. And now we get our musical vibe on with our gorgeous redhead spark plug here, Miss Kelly Corsino.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Good morning, everybody. Oops. Do you need...
Would you forgive me for not introducing you this morning when I introduced everybody else? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Because I meant to say, it's okay?
I'll give you a swat later.
Okay.
Did I say that out loud?
Well.
All right, so I'd like to start off our morning with a song from my first CD. It's called Within, and this is all about the spirit that is within us, representation of masculine, feminine, the divine, all in one. 20 feet down the road is all I can see, but it's all that I need with 10,000 miles to go. 'Cause I know the light is burning inside of me. Within, 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 there's a mother within, 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 there's a father within, 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 there's a love within. Yeah, let's slow it down. You reap what you sow, listen up. And so I believe with one little seed, bigger, better, beautiful grows. Because I see the faithful having all that they'll ever need. Within, 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 there's a mother within, 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 there's a father within, 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 there's a love within. Ooh, okay, now I'm starting to feel it. You guys feeling it? Come on. I say, oh, 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 I should know, I should know. Oh, 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 there's a magnet that's pulling my life. Ooh, when it's 50 below, and all I can see is hunger and need, and my eyes won't cry in the cold. I remember the fire that's burning inside of me. Within, 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 there's a mother within, 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 there's a father within, 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 there's a love within. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. One more time. Within, 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 there's a mother within, 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 there's a father within, within, within. guys sing one with me? Can we do that? All right, let's see. Within. I think some of you know my music. Within, 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 there's love within. One more time. There's a mother within, 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 there's a father within, 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 there's a love within. Now let's just sing this. Within. Now put your hand on your heart. Within. Feel it. Feel that heart beating. Within. Feel it. Within. Mm-hmm. Within. You know it's flowing within. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you.
I cleaned up house. I don't kick things under the rug at my home, but here I do. Good morning. Today's talk is Now is Where We Live. It has been said that history is a mystery. Tomorrow, did I say that right? It has been said that yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That is why we call it the present. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eckhart Tolle says in his book, The Power of Now, that what we think of as past is a memory stored in the mind, a former now. The future is an imagined now, a projection of the mind. Past and future have no reality of their own, just as the moon has no light of its own and merely reflects the light of the sun. So the past and future are only pale reflections of the light, the power, and the reality of the present now moment. When we're experiencing feelings of unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, these are all some form of fear of the future. And when we're having feelings of guilt, regret, remorse, resentment, or bitterness, these are all some form of non-forgiveness of the past. Science of Mind teaches us that today is the only day in which we live. The only place where true change can occur is in the now. In How to Use the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says, the religious science practitioner is always functioning in the present, and all statements in spiritual mind treatment are made in the present tense. Ultimate right action is now, today. If we say, tomorrow is going to be thus and so, then according to the very law that we are using, the answer to our prayer is always sometime out in the future, and it can never become the present. Our present day conditions, circumstances, and relationships are an outpicturing of our thoughts of yesterday. It is our thoughts of today which create our tomorrows. Our power lies in consciously choosing wisely this day, letting go and freeing ourselves of past hurts, disappointments, and failures, while realizing and claiming that our greater good is here now. It is ours. It is our divine right to claim today. Please repeat after me. I claim love, prosperity, and vibrant health as my reality now. I am open and inviting of greater good, outpicturing as my life now. Say that today, it'll work. Lastly, Today is God's gift to me, and I see the blessing in every now moment. You guys are good. Please stand as we get ready to sing our congregational song.
I let the love wash over me. I let it be. I let the love wash over me. I let it be. I let the joy wash over me. I let it be. I let the joy wash over me. I let it be. I let the peace wash over me. I let it be. Yes, I let the peace wash over me. I let it be. I let it be. Yes, I let it be. Excellent. All righty. Is Lucy in the house? Yay! And now let's welcome Lucy for our announcements.
Thank you. Hi. Can I have all my teens stand up, please? So these wonderful, beautiful people are advisors too. So you guys have your Arrowhead retreat coming up, and we just planned our teen version of Arrowhead, our week-long summer seminar for all of our wonderful teens across the United States and some in Canada as well. And it went really well. We worked hard. The workshops are amazing, and the one that we shared with you last weekend was just kind of a taste of what we did. And we just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Moira and all the reverends in the center for letting us use the facility. Volunteer Awareness Day is today, and we'll be having a celebration at 12:30 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. There will be light refreshments and some inspiration. Dee Dee Schiller is going to come up and share about volunteering.
Hey, I'm Dee Dee Schiller. Thank you. I love the idea that they're actually having a volunteer day. I've been a member here for 10 years, and I kind of like to say I got sucked in right away as a volunteer to start in the gardening club. And then I went into the children's room to play with children. I was a preschool teacher back in the day, so I did the children about a minute and a half. And then I went on to working at the front desk, and now I'm in the bookstore. So I've kind of had my feet in everything. I love it. And it's such an opportunity to get to know the congregation in any type of volunteer position here. And I've noticed when I volunteer here on the outside, life is just flowing into my life in so many ways I can't even express it here. So we are having a celebration of volunteering today. I'll be sitting in the Richelieu Hall to take any volunteers that want to sign up. We'd love your phone number, your name, and we'll do a little interview. And if you want to come into the bookstore, I'll be the one to train you in there. If you want to do the front desk, there'll be trainers for the front desk, trainers for how to plant seeds and grow gardens, trainers to work with the children. So we need volunteers everywhere in here, and it's an amazing experience to do that. So please come on back and introduce yourselves. Thanks.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Visioning will continue with Dr. Moira on Mondays at 6 p.m. Spiritual Discussion Group will not meet in May, but it will resume in June. Peace Poll will be next Sunday, May 6th, after our second service. This is the day that we rededicate not only our Peace Poll, but our commitment to remain a sanctuary of peace. Women's Circle is Sunday, May 6th at 12:30 p.m. in the Teen Room. Men's Spirit Group meets Monday, May 7th at 7 p.m. in the Teen Room. And the Arrowhead Retreat on Memorial Day weekend is full. We can take one person, maybe. We can take one person and perhaps one couple. So if you're interested, would you talk to Reverend Catherine or the front desk? If you would like to be that one person, go ahead and ask now before it fills up. But the bus still does have room. It's an easy way to make the trip. It's a nice charter bus. It's not one of the school buses that we teens get to use. Not for this weekend, just for regular. And the cost is $50 for the whole trip. So it's a really nice bus. You can connect on your way up and reflect on the way back down with everyone that you just went on that journey with. And it's a really good experience to add to your Arrowhead retreat. We always have practitioners on duty. Look for them under the practitioner sign in the foyer. We also offer prayer circle after both services. If you would like to be a part of it, please come to the grand piano after service. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Thank you. Hey, and as an addition to the announcements, Miss Kelly has said that she is going to tithe back 20% of all of her sales today in the lobby, so I encourage you to go over there too. Thank you, Kelly. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
And so I greet and meet that God that's always here and here now, always and ever present to me. And so I allow myself this moment to come to quietness and come to stillness and to listen, to be still and to listen, and to feel the power of that presence right within me, around me, about me, above me and below me. And that's all I have to know and feel and be in order to be all that I am meant to be, whole, complete, at one with life, my life and all life. The way to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. Simply to know that I'm in the presence and the presence is in me. And where that presence is, there can't be anything else. only that wholeness and that completeness and that fullness of being. So I relax. I release everything unlike that sense and sensibility of oneness, and know that I am restored, renewed, recovered. And what I know for myself, I know for every person on this plane, and I know it for every living thing, that God is all there is, good is all there is, life is all there is, and it's whole, and it's complete. And it's what I'm in, and it is what is in me, and it ever shall be. And I am in deep gratitude that I should know what I know, and open and receptive to knowing it more deeply and fully with every breath of my life and every moment I live. The peace that passes understanding, the joy that is complete, and the life that is abundant, which is my inheritance. One that I am so eager and willing to share generously. So always and ever, to life, to the good, to God be the glory, in and through and by means of me and all of its creation. I set this word in my intention to be realized, and I send it forth, and I know it does not return to me void, but it does accomplish that which I intend through the immediate response of that amazing creative process, the law of life itself, coming into agreement with me as I say, and so it is.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So good morning all, and welcome into the sanctuary. I'm glad I got up this morning to come here to be with you today. It's a wonderful day. And it's a special day because we have with us, amongst us today, some of the most wondrous leaders in our organization, both the grown-ups, adults, and the young adult leaders here with us today. They assembled here over the weekend to put together wonderful ideas with regard to how to serve the community at summer camp. And they've put together the program for that, and they've done a splendid job from what I hear. So I would like you all to stand so that we can laud you and applaud you and tell you how honored we are that you're here with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so here we are last Sunday in April, and as you know, we've been journeying through this thing called Understanding More Fully and Deeply, the fusion of our humanity and our divinity, and doing that coming up out of having, before that in May, gone deeply into the understanding that we are so rooted in divinity, it's awesome. Now, yes, it is still early in the day for us to have such big ideas going on in our minds, and we can think about things other than omelets and pancakes and so on and so forth. Yes, we're equal to this. I look out and I see everybody's wonderful body here present, sitting down in the seats and me standing here, and I would invite all of our minds to be present with our bodies, because that's not always the case. Because today we're looking at how we live our lives right here and right now. We live it in the moment, and that's how we live our lives. And every experience in our lives is a moment. So there is an ever and always only the day. Only the day. And we've heard it before so many times. We live in the here, in the now, in the day. And as Ram Dass would say, be here and now. That's our challenge, that's our task. And so we need to understand the past as the past, over and done with, behind us, and that's where it should be left. And the future ahead of us, before us, not here yet, so we don't have any of our existence in the future or any of our existence in the past. Our existence is right here, it's right now. The day is a day and always a day. It has a morning, it has an afternoon, it has an evening. It has cycles of 7 called Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It has seasonal cycles of 4, spring, summer, autumn, winter, but it's always today. Have you noticed that? It's always today. There's no other day but today. And so we could empower ourselves in this moment now, in this gathering now, right here, with the understanding and the idea that every single thing is possible, but it's only possible today, here and now. That's the only time when life is possible. It is said, it has been written, that yesterday is a cancelled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. So what leaves today? I say it's cash in hand. Today is cash in hand. Cash in hand. And that cash in hand symbolizes our 2 greatest gifts. The 2 gifts of all: time, place, and space. Time and thought. So our cash in hand is our time and our thought. The question is, how will we spend our time and thought today? That is always the question. Now, I have here a $20 bill. Is there anyone in the room that would like this $20 bill? Not yet, sir. Not yet. I love your response, but not yet. Okay. So, many of us are honest enough to say we would like this $20 bill. Not everyone's hand went up, and that's a talk for another time. Okay. So if I fold this bill, is there anyone in this room that would like this folded bill? Okay, there are. Okay, is there anyone in this room that would like this piece of paper here? Okay, we're getting better at this, I see. More hands are going up. Okay. Anybody like this particular piece of paper? Anybody willing to come forward and have this piece of paper? It's yours, sir. That $20 bill represents your life and mine. Sometimes we have this pristine thing. We start out with a pristine thing. We are a pristine thing. And it's an awesome, wondrous, amazing, magnificent, and glorious thing because it is a point of power in the universe through which the infinite expresses itself in all of its radiant magnificence. That's what we start out with. But as we go deeper into spiritual amnesia and forget who we are and what we are and whose we are, that pristine thing seems to be covered up, and it gets blotched and it gets spotted. And so there are those of us who could say and attest to lives in the past that have been lived from ignorance, unskillfully, living a sort of a kind of a low-life experience. And we've had lives that have been tattered and broken and trod upon and thrown aside and ignored and forgotten and so on. And yet, take a Mother Teresa or a Dalai Lama or a Jesus or a Buddha and put that torn life beside it, and the value is the exact same. The value of that life has not depreciated one iota, because at the center core of that being is the flame of that pristine life, that point of power that the individualized expression of the one is in all of its glory and all of its magnificence. And today, if any one of us have had any of those experiences, we could rise up like the phoenix out of that experience and go back into recovery and knowing ourselves as that which we are. And what is that? Ernest Holmes says that the living spirit of life incarnated in every individual soul, and its entire nature, its divine beingness, it bequeathed to that soul, coupled with a command of the spiritual law of life with all its power and all its authority. That's who you are. That's who I am. That's who everyone is. And no less, and no less. And it doesn't matter the appearance. If I show up in a folded, flattened state, if I show up in a crinkled, wrinkled state, if I show up in a tramped down state, it doesn't matter. I am that which I was in the beginning, I am it now, and I ever shall be forevermore. And nothing and no one, especially myself, can change that. And in today, you and I get to come into that awareness, if we so choose to. We come into understanding and realizing that life is not a funeral dirge. Life is a march, a powerful, 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 energetic march. And that's where you and I could be in our energy as we move ahead, unfolding more and more and more of the layers to get to the true essence and the core of our being, and to know ourselves as we have first been known, and to know each other as each other has first been known, because that's your task and that's my task as a truth student, as a committed person to that unfoldment of the true essence of our being. And that's why we're all sitting in this room now. We're not down by the beach or whatever else we could be up to and doing. That's why we're here, because we get it. Something in us gets it. And whether we fall asleep to it now and again, doesn't matter. That inkling in us is nudging us and won't let us ever rest, come to peace or come to rest. We will never know contentment until we come into our own, until, as the prodigal did, come to ourselves. We must come to ourselves, because the self of ourself is already very present to us, and leaning on tiptoe, waiting for us to get it too, so it can come full force into service of our being and our lives. Now, I love to watch people grow and watch people change, most especially myself. And of course, one never does it quickly enough for oneself as far as oneself is concerned. At least that's the way I see it. But I love it to see that life is indeed a whole hodgepodge of experiences, good, bad, and indifferent. And everybody gets good, bad, and indifferent experiences. And even when we're so enlightened, we will always have good, bad, and indifferent experiences as long as we're wearing a body. We will have successes and we will have failures. We need to get used to that. And we need to stop seeing failure as a bad word. It's not a bad word at all. It's just part of the process of getting back to ourselves, growing back into ourselves. Any successful person that you know has failed, and failed many times. You see it in yourself and you see it in others. And I love what people have to offer. I mean, if you look at the people like the very, very, what we call the very, very successful people, if you look at somebody like Steve Jobs, he would say to you, I mean, he never thought of himself as the greatest of all people, and he knew he had faults too, and great ones at that. But he said what gave him the success in his life was the fact that he had a passion about what he did, and he loved what he did, and he pursued what he did. And he said, when you love what you do and you have a passion about it, you will persist. You won't stop. You'll persist. That's the difference. If you love it, if you're passionate about it, you'll persist and you won't stop, and you will succeed and you will achieve. That's the way it is. Now, I don't know if you know Brian Atkin, but in the process of me telling you, he was a very bright, intelligent young fellow and had a great love of pursuing excellence in the field of social media and cyber technology and all of that. But he had a lot of failures along the way. When he applied to Yahoo, he couldn't get a job for nuts, and so on and so forth. But he kept persisting, and he kept persisting, and he kept persistent. Well, a little while went by, and soon Yahoo was coming to him, and Yahoo was saying, look, we are going to give you $19 billion for your WhatsApp. For your WhatsApp. And so they did. And he continued in his work. To this day, he continues in his work of creating and inventing and doing all of that. But his success is in his never giving up and never stepping back and never falling down, but always pursuing, pursuing, pursuing. It's the same with, any of those great people that you look at and that have, look at Oprah Winfrey, my gosh, look how she succeeded and achieved and came out of such poverty and a background that wasn't conducive to her ever realizing the fame and the fortune and the success that she would have. Will Smith amuses me greatly because he will tell you, I am not the greatest of actors, but I certainly am one of the most successful ones. And he says, where I excel, my true excellence is in my ridiculous work ethic. He says, when other people are sleeping, I am working. When other people are eating, I am working. I am not afraid to die on the treadmill. He says, I'll guarantee if you get on the treadmill, when I get on the treadmill, you'll be the first to get off. You will. I will be the last man standing, and I'll be last to get off, because he is so passionate about his life, about his work and what he does, and he pursues it and pursues it and pursues it. Now, I don't know what it'd be like to live with somebody like Will Smith. I don't know if he's working when everybody else is sleeping and working when everybody else is, but that's not the point. Today is, his success is because he's fired, he's driven, he's charged. And he says, if your life is not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And he also says that when you make a decision, when you choose, when you make a choice, he calls it the redemptive aspect of choosing. He says, when you make a choice, he says, the universe gets out of your way and you go forward and it happens. So how are we spending the coinage of our time and our thought? How are we using what's given to us every single day? And every day we're given enough for the day. Lord, for tomorrow and its needs I do not pray. Give us this day our daily needs. Meet our daily needs in the day. So we don't have to be worried about the past, and we don't have to be worried about tomorrow, because we're given today whatever it is that we need in today. So when you're thinking about your wonderful life, whatever stage in life you're at, and it doesn't matter. And of course, age has nothing got to do with this. Everybody ages. Only those who choose to grow old. But everybody ages, and age is just a normal part of life and living. And it doesn't matter, therefore, what the number says on your birthday. Every day is a new day, and every day is a day for redemption. Every day is a chance and an opportunity for something new and different and glorious to happen, and something to break through you that has never broken through before, because it can. But how do we get there? The only way we will get there is to commit every single day of our lives to do some self-reflection, some self attuning, some self-mindfulness, some self-examination, and to allow ourselves to be in our own company. We must be in our own company, and we must love to be in our own company. We must enjoy being in our own company. We must delight in having some time to ourself, to be able to be in touch with the greatness of ourself, and to be aware that I'm in the presence and the presence is in me. And that doesn't mean I have to think at all. I don't have to think one iota to be with myself. I just have to be still, and I just have to be quiet, and I just have to listen. And to help me to do that, if I focus on breathing, wonderful things happen. I just focus on my breath. I breathe in and I breathe out, and the glorious thing is that that's the breath of life breathing me in and out. I'm not breathing at all. The breath of life is breathing me. And so I need time with myself to get to the core of my being so that I can know myself well enough to allow myself the full force, aliveness of being, to be alive to my living. How many of us are alive to our living throughout the day? And here's the thing, my dear ones. It is a possibility. It's more than a possibility. It's present to you now as an invitation. Today could be the day like any other day, the Sunday like any other Sunday. It could be, I get up in the morning, I do what I usually do in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and maybe something unexpected happens in between, and it all just happens. And I'm just hanging out in the day. Or today could be that day when you and I decide we choose. We allow ourselves the redemptive act, the transformative act of choosing. Choosing what? I could choose today, as you could, to change. I could choose to change today. And perhaps in choosing that change to be alive to my living and to experience all of my experiences in the day, to be present in those experiences, to have my mind present there, and to purposefully and mindfully move through that day. And this change could bring about the opportunity for a transformation, and that transformation could happen in such a way that I come to feel myself like I've never felt myself before, to see myself like I've never seen myself before, to know myself like I've never known myself before, and perhaps for the first time in my life, be comfortable within myself, be at home within myself. To know myself maybe for the first time as I have first been known. To know myself because I'm feeling within myself, yes, that greatness. I'm feeling within myself, yes, that moreness. I'm feeling within myself, yes, that best of myself, which I'm coming to realize and feel is the very power and presence of life itself, the living essence, the divine being that knows itself as me, that incarnated in form as me, that bequeathed me with all of its power and all of its presence and all of its wholeness, perfection, and completeness of being. I could know myself like that simply by making a decision, deciding to know myself like that, feel myself like that, be in my own presence with myself like that, so that the who of what I am and how I am is very, very palpable within me, and I'm honoring it and I'm recognizing it to the point that I can fall asleep that night knowing, probably for the first time ever, everything is okay. Everything is quite okay. All is well and very well. And when I wake up in the extended day called morning, I know I am going to feel what I'm feeling now, know what I'm knowing now, and I am committed to being fully awake, fully alert, fully present to everything I choose in thinking, to everything I choose in doing, to everything I decide I am going to be because I can and because the time is now. And now is the ripeness of time. There's no right time for anything, but there is the ripeness of time. And the ripeness of time is always now, in the present moment, exactly as things are, exactly as I am. Because what I am is decided in an instant. How I am can be decided in an instant. Who I am can be decided in an instant, and I jolly well know I am more than what is presented in this form and in this body. So yes, I will take the invitation seriously today. Come and rest a while in me. Cast your burdens upon me. Know that I have loved you with an everlasting love. Know that right where you are, I am. Know for certain sure, I am on your side. I am with you. I am in you as you. There is no separation between the true essence of my being and what is here before you now accept. Thinking makes it so. So what it is to know that you know, there is the challenge. It's one thing to know it, but to know that you know it because you felt it, you have thought it, you have invited it in, you have allowed yourself to go there, you've allowed yourself to set yourself free of all that went behind you, gone, past, done with. You've separated yourself from that. You've come into your own right here and right now. You've stood up, you've looked at yourself. You've seen more than ever you have ever seen when you've looked through a natural, normal mirror. But you're looking into the mirror of the core and the essence of your being, and you are being raised up by that. This is not pie in the sky. This is not something you have to work toward or I have to work toward. This is something that's already happened, and it's something I can decide that this is what I am, this is how I am, this is who I am, and it's all good and it's all God. But the question is, will you? The question is today a day like none other? The question is, will you leave this room feeling differently than you entered this room? Will you leave this room knowing more truly who you are and what you are and whose you are than when you entered the room? And if so, the difference has been made in your life now, and because it's made in your life, it's made in all life, and because you have risen up, all life rises up with you, because that's how life works. So it is always and ever about who you think you are, who you know yourself to be, and who you feel yourself to be. I can only remind us all, because I am being reminded myself, that I am indeed the image, the likeness of the Creator of my being, and that I have indeed entitlement to all of the gifts of the kingdom without exception. And that right here, as I am, exactly as I am, nothing is wanting, and the all is present. And it's up to me to accept this much of it or all of it. What is it going to be? I leave you with the question, And I am knowing that each one will evermore remember that in the presence of any individual that crosses your path, remember, whether the dollar is crumpled or whether it's in its pristine state, equal value. And so that's how we meet each other. That's how we namaste each other. That's how we perceive each other, not as the world does, but as the Spirit does. For God, by means of you, is on the move, upward, forward, and onward, always and ever. The world needs you now more than it has ever needed you. The question is, are you there? Are you ready? Are you going forth as what the world needs? Life, light, love. That's all that is required of us, and we have tons and bazillions of it at hand. Say with me right now, the God I am. The God I am. Louder. The God I am. Louder. The God I am. Do you believe it? Yes. So it is. And now, my dear ones, at this time we have Reverend Catherine coming to share a little something with us.
Dear RBCSL, I am so grateful for many opportunities that I have at this center to hear inspiration and to visit with people with whom I feel so wonderfully comfortable. I feel safe as I share my life happenings, and it's easy for me to forget what an amazing gift that is. I am especially grateful that the classes I take continually confront my current ways of thinking that don't make me feel better. It can be uncomfortable at first, but then I realize what a valuable thing it is for me to learn something new. Thank you for making all of this work so very well for me.
And as you know, the reason why we share these demonstrations is because I want to acknowledge the fact, the truth, that if all of us weren't here in this community, supporting this community, having to be part of this community, individuals couldn't have these experiences. And it's because of you sitting in those seats that everything you hear about on a Sunday happens because you are supporting this wonderful work. And so I want you to know that you are making the difference. And in fact, the great good that happens because of you being here in community, all of us together, most of it you'll never hear about and you'll never know, but it's huge. And so I honor you for that. So thank you for allowing the community to be so that all of us can come together and grow as a result and mend and fix and heal whatever needs that. You're amazing, and thank you. And it's wonderful to be with people who are so invested in their spiritual unfoldment. So let's take our gift between our hands and bless our gift and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feels like I'm walking on marbles. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Raise my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound, and everybody said something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. I can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Love is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Well, if that doesn't punctuate the message, I don't know what will. The wonderful Kelly, indeed, and our great band. Well, like the disciples on the road to Emmaus said to each other, we have seen wonderful things in Jerusalem today. Well, we're only beginning to see the wonderful things in Jerusalem today. It all depends on what decisions we make between now and we put our heads on that pillow. And I hope everybody sleeps like the angel grace that each one is, I'm knowing it. And after our service now, we do have our gathering, our volunteer gathering. It's our Volunteer Awareness Day. And we consider our volunteers to be part of the leadership program in our community. And so we really and truly do love and truly are appreciative to all those who volunteer here and create such a beautiful and wonderful community. We couldn't be ourselves without you, that's for sure. And so now we are going to have our concluding prayer, and we're going to set the intention as we pray this for one family, a united world, all of us understanding that we belong to each other, that each and every one of us are part and parcel of each other, and knowing deeply within our hearts, not just wishing, but knowing. Of course, this is possible because this is what we're created to be and how we're created to be. So that's what we have in mind, unity, harmony, and a love for unity in diversity. I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only love, there is only love, there is only love. And safe journeys to all of you who are traveling home today. We're standing now for our peace song.